Back for another weekend here at 10 of the Ice Pavilion. It's Alumni Weekend for the Syracuse hockey team here on the SU Hockey Network. We've got Syracuse and Rhode Island. Doug Lattuca here with Cameron Ezeir. And Cam, Syracuse had its first legitimate win last weekend, a shootout victory, 4-3.
It was a huge win, a big win for momentum as well. Doug, whenever you win in a shootout, it's not really how you got it done during during regular time. It's the energy that you provide in the shootout, even in the overtime period. This Syracuse team showed persistence. It showed talent on the front line and the back line. The goalkeeper or the netminder was phenomenal as well. The Syracuse team put together a complete game, barring all those circumstances.
And Cam, it was the top line of Vasilevsky, Prestamo, and Hutchinson that all got it done. They were involved in the 3 regular time goals, and they all shot in the shootout. Hutchinson with that game winner. But Cam, no Prestamo today. He's dealing with an injury.
That's huge. The absence of Lucas Prestamo will be probably the biggest storyline coming into this game and during the game. Who steps up in his absence? You could bring a guy off the bench, someone like Cook, who's going to play today, but I think it is on the shoulders of a guy like Sam Hutchinson, Evan Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky had his first goal of the season against Oswego. Sam Hutchinson's been phenomenal. We already talked about his 6'3" presence. Those two have to be great in this one. And guess what? One guy I'm going to throw out there, Tim Kalinowski has to get things going. Watch number 13 on the ice.
Kalinowski's second line will start this game. Syracuse sits at 3-6 overall, but still just 2-6 in ESCHL play. That's their division. And now they've got a big weekend series with Rhode Island, who's in that same division. So these are 2 big games.
These are huge games. You talk about the momentum shifter against Oswego. Well, how do you build on top of it? It's not just a bump that Syracuse had to get over. This is a mountain they'll have to climb. They're still climbing up it. You have to realize that if you're Syracuse. Great, you got the win over Oswego State, but it has to continue this weekend against Rhode Island, Doug.
Cameron, a lot of people talk about momentum, and Syracuse has it on their side after the big victory last weekend. But they're plugging and playing a lot of guys. Illness, injury, whatever it may be, there's new guys playing their first college hockey game today. What must be going through their heads?
I mean, it's excitement, it's jubilation. If you're a Syracuse hockey player, it's Alumni Weekend. You have everyone watching. You got fans in the stands. And guess what? You're on a winning streak. I know it's only one game. If you're Syracuse, this is a streak. You have the chance to extend that and also prove to head coach Chris Timmons that you can start moving forward. Once Lucas Prestamo comes back, it doesn't matter. Those guys can still come off the bench. These lines can add depth based off this game.
Don't switch that tab. We have way more action on prior to puck drop. We'll be right back.
There's plenty more to get to. This is Prior to Puck Drop here on the SU Hockey Network. Syracuse men's hockey action is just moments away, but before that, we head back to Prior to Puck Drop here on the SU Hockey Network.
Welcome back to Prior to Puck Drop here at Kennedy Ice Pavilion. Cameron Ezeir with you. We're continuing our pregame coverage, but we can't continue it without talking about what happened last game. A huge shootout win over Oswego State, like Doug and I mentioned in the pregame. But guess what? It's a Syracuse team that just picked up its first legitimate win. So how do you build on top of it? Well, it was the front line that got it done against Oswego State and Lucas Prestamo, Evan Vasilevsky, and Sam Hutchinson. Those three all had a goal, all comeback goals, because Syracuse fell behind a goal in each period and ended up taking it in the shootout. Those guys are key. Sam Hutchinson picked up that huge shootout goal, the only one that went through. He is going to be the mainstay of this Syracuse lineup if the Orange want any success moving forward. So watch the front line, because guess what? It happened last game, and that could be replicated against Rhode Island. But that's in the past. How about the future? Syracuse has Rhode Island here at Kennedy Ice Pavilion for a 2-game slate. And Doug caught up with head coach Chris Timmons before the game to talk a little bit more about Rhode Island.
We're back with more coverage on Prior to Puck Drop. Doug Lattuca here with Coach Timmons for another installment of Timmons Talking Coach. You're coming off your first legitimate win, a 4-3 shootout victory. Yeah. What did it mean for your team?
It was great. It was the monkey off the back, as they would say, and the guys were relieved to have that win under our belt, and now we're looking to continue and build on it.
You have a first line of Prestamo, Hutchinson, and Vasilevsky was off the charts. They were involved in all 4 goals, and they were the 3 shooters in the shootout. Hutchinson scored the lone goal, but no Prestamo today.
No.
What can you say about that?
Yeah, so he came about an injury that was lingering, and the best move for us was looking long term and have him take a break, get it evaluated, and then figure out what we want to go from there. So he's out for this weekend, but we're not ruling him out for next week.
And what can you say about his replacement, Tim Cook, who moves up to the first line center spot?
He's shown a lot of progress over the past couple weeks, and he had a good game last Friday. So we're looking for him to really step up in a big role here, and we can see what he can do here.
You have a lot of new additions to the lineup. A lot of guys playing their first games of the season.
Yeah.
So a lot of juggling. How are you feeling going into this one?
I feel good. It's a next man up mentality. That's what I instilled with the guys too. And the message of practice has been that we're going to be in this situation, and these guys get an opportunity to show me why they deserve to be on the roster.
Austin Ricker's been playing defense all season long. Now he's slotted in at the 4th line center spot. Was he showing you something in practice, or just the way that the defense is sort of moved around? Is that what's happening?
It's been injuries, it's been illnesses, and we had a couple guys drop off the roster for that reason. So Ricker, looking into the season, he was a forward at some points, 2019, 2020. So we're looking to see what he can do there at the center spot on that 4th line.
Yeah, URI comes in for a 2-game series. This is going to be a big one for you guys as you're looking to build on the momentum from last week. Sorry. So what's going to be happening today for you guys? How are you? What are you looking forward to seeing your team do today?
It's going back to our systems and making sure we stick to the game plan that we have set, and as long as we can put a full 60 and do that system, I think we'll be successful.
Nick Manousis, the starting goalie, again for today. He had the start last week in the victory. Is that just a momentum thing, or is he taking over that spot as the starting goalie?
He's earned that spot as a starter for now, and then we'll see how it progresses. And Cal's waiting in the wings, kind of ready to go when we need him. So it's a competition with those goalies, and they know that they got to work for it. So Nick's earned it, and he's going to stay in there as long as he's playing well.
That'll do it for Timmons. Syracuse and URI. Puck drop at 3:30. Back here on Prior to Puck Drop, Doug Lattuca with Cameron Ezeir. And Cam, let's talk a little about a Rhode Island Rams. 4-6 overall, 3-3 in the ESCHL, and coming off a 3-1 victory against Delaware in their last time out.
This Rhode Island team is very interesting. You talk about their record's been a bit wonky, and the two players that have been getting it done, Griffin Long on the forward side, and then Thomas Shaw on the defense. But guess what? Thomas Shaw has 6 goals and 3 assists as a defenseman. The versatility on this team is absolutely elite. It's something that Rhode Island should really, do moving forward. And this is a Rhode Island team and a Rams team that you have to realize has one thing and one thing in general. I talk about versatility, it's consistency. If you're the Rams, you have to take advantage of Syracuse's inconsistencies throughout the game.
Yeah, and Syracuse coming off that non-ESCHL win against Oswego State last weekend. These games mean a lot for a Syracuse team that's 4 games under 500 in their division. They got to win these games.
Hey, many would say that Thomas Shaw is a showstopper, not a showstopper. And I would say that because it is important in these games, and to beat Rhode Island, it's stopping Thomas Shaw on both ends of the ice. You might be asking, stopping Thomas Shaw on both ends of the ice, how is that even possible? On the defensive end, stabilizing him by attacking the crease. On the offensive end, if you're Syracuse, in an important game like you mentioned, it's making sure that he doesn't get anywhere near your netminder. So yeah, these are very important games. How you do it, you stay consistent.
And Cameron, the Rams had 20 penalty minutes in their last game. We're very familiar with penalty minutes here with Syracuse, so both teams that like to get a little physical, gritty, and sometimes end up in the sin bin a little too often.
Discipline is a huge trend in this game, and maybe not the trend that a lot of these, these coaches want to say discipline should be the most important thing, but throughout the first couple of games, it hasn't really been the case. Rhode Island has to get a lot better at that. But if you're Syracuse, what you have to worry about yourself. You have to make sure that you are able to stay disciplined, stay consistent, stay out of the sin bin. It's not worth, being in a situation like that, because if you're Syracuse, you have to realize one thing and one thing only: you're not going to beat Rhode Island when you're a man down.
And it's an exciting weekend here in Syracuse. It's Alumni Weekend, a big ceremony and dinner after the game tonight, inducting a slew of players into the Hall of Fame. And you can just feel the excitement with a lot of older guys coming back to Syracuse and reliving the glory days.
It is reliving the glory days. We caught up with them before the game, and obviously you had a great chance of interviewing them. But what's so good with these alums is they love Syracuse. They really love Syracuse, and it's something that this program has done so well over the... Hey, let's trace it back all the way to the 50s. This program has done a great job sticking with the guys that care about this program. It's really not just a program, it's almost turned into a D1 organization, and these alums, they're great. They love being back in Syracuse, even in this cold weather. They don't care. They like being here at the rink where they made their name a near 40, 50 years ago.
Yeah, I don't want to give too much away from my interview, but one told me he was out playing at Drumlin's on the rink, 6 below here in Syracuse. Not too bad today. It's about 55 and sunny on the campus of Syracuse University. But the big game today, and a lot of them are just excited to watch the new guys represent Syracuse.
Very excited, because this program, as it's moved forward, it's become a community. It's become a family. So everyone here, all the alums coming back, either whether you're getting inducted in the Hall of Fame or just here back in Syracuse, they want to support these guys as their own, because dating back to when this program was created, Syracuse wanted this club to be more than a club, for it to be a community, and these alums have been very supportive to these players.
So we have a huge weekend. We've got a game today, 3:30 puck drop coming up very shortly, and then tomorrow there's a 2 o'clock puck drop for the second game of this series. A little bit more on the Alumni Weekend and how it's going to roll out. We've got a big ceremony, some speeches to come out with. What are you expecting with that? You think it's going to be emotional? You think people are going to be maybe some tears flying down?
Very, very emotional. These are guys that you look back at your college days and you say, those were the times. Those were the times that I wouldn't just get, out on this ring, but I would play with my brothers. And a lot of these guys, you see the camaraderie, Doug. So yeah, I think they're just emotional being back, but being inducted into the Hall of Fame, having that honor at your former university, it's a big deal for these players.
Yeah, and Cameron, some of them told me they haven't seen each other since their last game for Syracuse. That's a long time. Imagine you coming back maybe 30, 40, 50 years from now. I mean, that must be craziness.
It is absolutely crazy, especially because it seems like all of these alums have been hanging out for the past 30 years. So you mentioned the camaraderie, you mentioned the consistency of this program over the years. It's really a community. We are so thankful to bring it to you, the viewers, and even on Prior to Puck Drop, adding new things. These alums are what started this hockey program, and we're just thankful to now be a part of it.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break on Prior to Puck Drop, but don't turn away from the SU Hockey Network. We have a lot more coming up.
Like Chrissy, the tennis.
Got it. Doug Lattuca here at 10 of the Ice Pavilion for our Alumni Weekend coverage. I'm here with Jim Everett and David Kahn. They played for Syracuse hockey from 59 to 63. David was here as well for an extra 2 years for graduate school, but wasn't able to play. It was again, he didn't play, but if he even was back for graduate school nowadays, he wouldn't have been able to play anyway. Not allowed to play on Syracuse hockey during graduate school.
There's plenty more to get to. This is Prior to Puck Drop here on the SU Hockey Network. Syracuse men's hockey action is just moments away, but before that, we head back.
Welcome back to Prior to Puck Drop. We're winding things down, getting you ready for Syracuse and Rhode Island in game one of a two-game series. To talk about Alumni Weekend being this weekend, the induction ceremony tonight, a lot of names to throw out there who will be inducted into the Syracuse Hockey Hall of Fame. The names right here, we got Brian Fitzgerald, David Kahn, Michael McTingler. We got so many on tap, and Doug actually had a chance to talk to them. You're gonna hear those during intermission, so don't go anywhere during the game, during intermissions, because there's a lot of names that Syracuse hockey has a chance to add accolades to and induct them into the Hall of Fame. But guess what? It's game time, Syracuse, Rhode Island, and the ceremony for these Hall of Famers on the ice. Let's head right to it.
There's plenty more to get to. This is Prior to Puck Drop here on the SU Hockey Network. Syracuse men's hockey action is just moments away, but before that, we head back to prior to puck drop here on the SU Hockey Network.
Division 1 matchup featuring the visiting Rhode Island Rams and your Syracuse Orange. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet today's starting lineups. First, for the visiting team, the Rhode Island Rams. On defense, left side, number 5, Mike Costello. His partner on right defense, number 4, Logan Clavette. At left wing, number 18, Thomas Pregame. At right wing, number 21, Griffin Long. At center, number 22, Luke Judge. And defending the Rams goal, number 30, Curtis Briggs. The Rhode Island Rams are coached by Joe Augustine. He is assisted by John Hendricks and Chris Winnis. And now the starting lineup for your Syracuse Orange. At left defense, a 6'2" junior from North Conway, New Hampshire, captain number 7, Mackenzie Murphy. At right defense, a 5'8" freshman from Mount Clair, New Jersey, number 28, Jared Todd. At left wing, number 13, assistant captain from Marblehead, Massachusetts, Tim Kalinowski. At right wing, a 5'9" freshman from Chicago, Illinois, number 15, Rock Alvarez. At center, a 5'8" freshman from Canton, Massachusetts, number 27, Anthony Larkin. And defending your orange goal, a 5'10" junior from Lincoln, Rhode Island, number 37, Nicholas Malusos. Your Syracuse Orange are coached by Chris Timmons. He is assisted by Jordan Alhart. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise, remove headwear if wearing, and face the flag as we honor our country and our colors with the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to Tennessee Ice Pavilion for today's contest between the Rhode Island Rams and your Syracuse Orange. This weekend, Syracuse Hockey is proud to welcome back former members of its club as we celebrate over 60 years of Syracuse men's hockey during Hall of Fame Alumni Weekend. On hand to help with today's ceremonial puck drop, please welcome the Syracuse Hockey Hall of Fame Class of 2021 inductees. From the class of 2016, defenseman Nino Di Pasquale. This year's Van Winkle Award recipients. From the class of 1994, forward Lance Davis. And from the class of 1995, former team manager Amy Morris Davis. With us today on behalf of Russ Rene, his father, and former Syracuse University coach Paul Rene. From the class of 1963, the Elder Skateman, and one of the original members of Syracuse hockey, forward David Kahn. From the class of 1962, also one of the original members of Syracuse hockey, forward Brian Fitzgerald. And also on hand with us today are representatives from the 1989-1990 champion team, including Captain Mike Pace, Scott Polworth, Bill Hackett, Chris Healy, Greg Kribus, Todd Fraser, and Christine Krug on behalf of Eric Krug. Congratulations to Syracuse Hockey's Hall of Fame Class of 21, and thank you to all of our Syracuse hockey alumni. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for Syracuse Orange Hockey alumni. And now it's time for Syracuse Hockey.
Hello, hockey fans, and welcome back to 10 of the Ice Pavilion for another weekend of fun. Doug Lattuca alongside Cameron Ezeir. And Cam, a huge shootout victory against Oswego State to pick up the first legitimate win of the season. A huge one and a momentum builder for sure.
Momentum builder is the right words to use in that scenario. You talk about a win that comes with just a lot behind it. Syracuse wasn't even originally supposed to play Oswego State. You come into 10 of the Ice Pavilion, you tell your team, hey, this is a game that we have to win. This is a game that will build our season moving forward. This is a game that doesn't just legitimize anything in the win column, but a game that we should win at that. And Syracuse comes out, and I think that this team needed to win in dramatic fashion. Showing that persistency is a mainstay with this group. Syracuse looked great. Yes, the defense, there are certain things that could have been fixed, but if you're Syracuse, you're happy to walk away with the win, especially because that's your head coach's old school.
Syracuse without its top center iceman, Lucas Prestamo, tonight. He's dealing with an injury. I spoke with Coach Timmons. He said Prestamo should be back for next weekend's games as we are underway here at 10 of the Ice Pavilion. Syracuse starts with its second line of Tim Kalinowski, Anthony Larkin, and Brock Alvers. On defense, it's Mackenzie Murphy and the newcomer Jared Topf. As Murphy controls behind the Syracuse net, lofts it off the sideboards, kept in at the line. Here's Rhode Island, pass down low, and a save made by Manousis. Nicholas Manousis starting his second consecutive game for Syracuse. He was the winner against Oswego State. Murphy with the cross-ice pass to Kalinowski. Now to Alvers, quickly up for Larkin, who's in, and the stop is made by Curtis Briggs, the starting goalie for Rhode Island. The Rams come in 4-6 overall. They are 1-3 away, so just one victory away from their campus. As it's a face-off to the right of Briggs, Syracuse wins it. Goldenberg twirls it down low to the near side corner. Sam Hutchinson the shootout goal, the shootout game-winning goal over the weekend as he's in pursuit. Puck kept in at the line. Vasilevsky puts one on. Briggs sticks it to the far side corner. And it's Barkaloo having trouble with it, with Riccitelli trying to clear up the far side boards. Hutchinson keeps it, then loses it. Puck scrambled for at the blue line. Vasilevsky was able to chip it in and change. Rangers now going with Morrow, Kajula, and Gargurovich, the third line. On defense, it's Florio and Matt Zarb.
Yeah, that's really good. You have J.D. Florio back in the lineup, a guy, a freshman that many didn't expect to come in and make such an impact in the season. Didn't see him against Oswego State. Back here against Rhode Island, his impact will be felt, especially because it seems like the Syracuse team is only getting better after that win over Oswego.
New players up and down the lineup. Top line defenseman Jared Top is in. Gavin Stewart's on the second line D. And as I mentioned, Matt Zarb on the third pair. With the forwards, we said Prestamo's out. Timothy Cook moves up to the center one spot. Zach Schwartz is in on the fourth line with Alex Oakes, and Austin Ricker moves from defense to center that fourth line. So a lot of mixing and matching for head coach Chris Timmons, who says the team is dealing with illness and some injuries. Here's a chance for the Rams, and they score! A turnover by Zarb, and it's Jackson Shelvin who gives the Rams a 1-0 lead not even 2 minutes into the first. Shelvin with 4 goals coming into today. Now he's got 5. And the Rams, who are coming off a 3-1 win at number 19 Delaware last weekend, have the party started here at Kennedy. And a tough start for the new ad, Zarb.
Yeah, so inexperience on that back line, that's what you're expecting to see. Now, not this early on. I know head coach Chris Timmons is not too happy with that start from his defense. What you have to realize is against Oswego State, this same thing happened. A minute 5 seconds in, Oswego State scored a goal. So how do you respond? Even with new guys, Syracuse has the ability to do so. You kind of have to replicate what happened against Oswego State last week.
Syracuse finding it difficult to exit the zone. Puck to the near side point. Swung around. Murphy's there for the Orange. Plays a short pass to Kalinowski, who breaks free, has a little bit of ice to roam. Kalinowski over the red line, dumps it into the far side corner. Playing it is Briggs, coming out of his net. And it's Mike Costello, the junior defenseman from East Islip, New York, settling it down for the Rams. Rhode Island with a 1-0 lead. A goal a minute and 52 seconds in. Here's a chance, blockered away by Manusis, and the Orange will look to counter. Vasilevsky up to Hutchinson. Clear and try was blocked by the referee, and the Rams turn the other way. Syracuse was making a change. Looked like they have too many on the ice. One hops off. Rams still have the puck in the offensive zone. Shot blocked by the stick of Hutchinson, and here comes Vasilevsky over the block S at center. Vasilevsky, drop pass for Hutchinson. He'll put one on, and it's snagged with the glove by Briggs.
So now the question is, if defense is going to be an issue, then how do you start off that offensive momentum? It's something that the Syracuse team has to answer as this game goes on, because if the defense isn't there and you're tiring out, inside your own blue line, you're Syracuse. How do you get motivated to get things going on the offensive end?
Puck at the far side point. 3 from each side, battle for it. It comes down to Gargurovich, who bounces one onto Briggs. He's forced to make a short stop grab. He does so, and the Rams break the other way. Puck played up, then far side boards. It's Morrow. Now it's Goldenberg stopping and dumping it off for Morrow, who chips and chases back behind Briggs in the Rhode Island goal. Kajula in with the pressure. Gargurovich there as well. And the Rams clear off the glass and all the way down. It'll go for an icing. 15:44 to go in the first. Rams with a 1-0 lead on the Jackson Shelvin goal, his 4th of the season.
So that's what you got to do, Doug. You got to limit the players that have been good so far for Rhode Island. This is a Rhode Island team coming into this one fresh off a win and fresh off snapping a 3-game losing streak. So at an all-time high, realizing that they have the opportunity to pick up back-to-back wins fresh off of a skid. Stop the guys that have been playing well so far this season and have even put Rhode Island in this position to start with.
Florio back for Syracuse. As Cameron mentioned, he did not play against Oswego State. Pinned back in the lineup now at the 3rd defensive spot as he fights his way forward on the far side boards in front of the Syracuse bench, then throws it the length of the ice, and that will be an icing. Syracuse sitting at 3-6 on the season, 6 points, just 2-6 in ESCHL play. This is an ESCHL matchup. So a chance to pick up 2 W's. Could be monumental for a Syracuse team that picked up its first win last weekend. Kalinowski on the backhand, rainbows it out to center. Controlled by Frankwitz, the freshman defenseman. And here come the Orange. Larkin with a drive, and he scores! Anthony Larkin with a bullet! And this game is tied at 1.
Where in the world did that come from? Anthony Larkin, 5 points so far this season, 3 goals, 2 assists, add another goal to that. Wow, Anthony Larkin had no mercy for the puck. And that's a guy that needs to get going for this Syracuse team with Lucas Prestamo out. Who's your 3rd option behind Vasilevsky and Hutchinson? You just got your answer with 1 swing of a stick.
Freshman Anthony Larkin starts the scoring for Syracuse. We are tied at 1 with 14:30 to go in the first. Larkin, all 3 of his goals had come on the power play before today. Now he adds an even strength goal to his stat line.
Time of the game, 5 minutes, 12 seconds of the first
Rhode
period.
Island looking to counter. Drive from the point, gloved to the far side boards by Manusis, and Oaks plays it back for the newcomer, Jared Top. Collision at center. Both players back to their skates, and Rhode Island controls. It's Mike Costello playing it up the board for Fagan. He's double teamed. Puck still up for grabs. And it's Hutchinson pressed along the boards in front of the Syracuse bench. Rams come out with the puck. It's Clavitt, now back behind the net. A couple Syracuse players run into each other. Goldenberg gets it to his partner, Topf, who backhands 1-2 Hutchinson, and Syracuse is out with Tim Cook on the backhand taken down. Rams go the other way. Rhode Island working from right to left. Manusis defending the left net. 13 minutes to go, first period, 1-1 the score. Puck up for grabs at the blue line. And it's Vasilevsky who lofts one the length of the ice. Hutchinson's gonna beat everyone to the puck, negate the icing. Goldenberg, the defenseman, pinching in deep. He dumps it off for Kajula, who loses his footing. As there's a scrum along the near side boards. 3 players aside, Hutchinson involved, back for Goldenberg, who throws it back in deep. Gargurovich splits the defense. His pass was negated, and the Rams come out the other way as Engelson throws it back behind the Syracuse net. Manusis has trouble handling. Kuzamine pressed up against the board. He's the 7th defenseman tonight. You'd expect Syracuse to switch it up on defense with all the new additions. The lines aren't set in stone as Mara looks to chip and chase, does so, but coming over to help is Barkaloo. Good pinch of the line by Florio. Syracuse gets a quick change. It's the goal scorer Larkin with the pressure. Puck thrown across the ice, hit with a high stick, but the Rams touch up. And the shot off of Florio's stick as Zarb is back for the Orange. In on the pursuit is Richatelli. But it's Gargurovich with a short pass to Larkin. He fires one up and over the blocker. Goes off the glass behind the net. Gargurovich involved. And it's Shaw, Thomas Shaw, with 9 points from that defensive spot. With some speed, throws it in. Manousis there, touch pass by Kalinowski off the stick of Larkin. Chance in front, and it goes wide. Opportunity for Koretsky as he's got the puck back. Manousis decides he wants a whistle with 11:08 to go first period, 1-1 the score.
9 minutes in, what you're seeing from this game, or at least what I'm seeing, Doug, is both teams are sizing up with each other pretty well. Syracuse isn't backing down to this offensive flurry of Rhode Island, and the Rams are doing a good job halting the Orange past the blue line. These seem like two evenly matched teams. You could see it with the shots on goal category, 7-6 in favor of the Rams. When Syracuse has stayed pat within that category, the Orange have had at least a little bit of success. It's shown early on in this game, but 9 minutes in, Doug, looks like two teams that are very evenly matched.
The all-time matchup between these teams, Rhode Island has won 17 of the 29 games played. 17-10-2 Rhode Island is against Syracuse. But this one, knotted up at 1. Larkin with his 4th goal of the season. Rhode Island with some pressure in the Syracuse zone. Murphy, the assistant captain for the Orange. Pass through center, finds the stick of Oakes. He's got speed up the left side. He'll chip and chase. He lays a hit on, but Rhode Island trying to clear. Puck stays in the zone. Oakes turned it over to Ferraro. He's got it. Working on Murphy. Nice skate by Murphy, and then Ricker with the glove gets it as far as center. Ricker again at the blue line. Ferraro plays it. And the puck escapes the Syracuse zone, where it's Costello back with it. Rhode Island dumps it in deep. Manousis out to play for the Orange. A hit laid on the near side boards. A few players from each side. And Syracuse comes out with it. Goldenberg plays it to center. And now it's Zach Schwartz in his first college game from Westport, Connecticut. Costello looking to connect with Griffin Long. Pass too far, and Murphy decides to throw it out to center, where Costello plays it down with a stick, and then across to his partner, Clavitt. Costello. Clavitt on the backhand. Vasilevsky with the pressure. Now Goldenberg back to retrieve. Tries to clear, can't do so, as it was blocked down by Luke Judge. Luke Judge, the forward. Ronan Judge, the defenseman, for this URI squad. With 8:40 to go, first period, 1-1 the score. Kuzmin with it behind his own goal. He fumbles it. Vasilevsky there to save the day. Chips it up the board. Syracuse can't clear. Kuzmin. Puck played off the boards. Hutchinson looks middle. He's got Cook. And then Hutchinson on the backhand efforts it down the rink. But the Rams again in transition, looking to work into that Syracuse zone as Florio flubs the clear attempt, and then the dump in by URI went off a glass support. Manousis was out of the net. A big hit in the Syracuse zone involving Gargurovich. And the puck thrown down the ice. It's enough for icing. And another crazy sequence. That puck goes off the glass support and into the net, and it's 2-1 URI.
A lot of action, yeah. Rhode Island has the upper hand so far in this game only because they're asserting their presence on the offensive end. If you're Syracuse, the defense needs to hunker down. surround that crease, and make sure that URI can't set up its own offensive scheme, because right now, Rhode Island is really close to scoring. What Syracuse is doing well is blocking them off in transition, not allowing them to set up any type of stagnant offense.
Syracuse with Kalinowski, Larkin, and Alvers out there, the second line. Zarb and Florio on defense. And it's Florio looking for his partner Zarb. He turns it over, puck in front, goes wide. Wraparound chance, Manousis is there on the post. And the puck is not in the net. Manousis, quick like a cat. Griffin Long lurking around that blue paint. Poke checking away, and the faceoff's going to be to the right of Manousis with 7:30 to go, first period.
Oh, Doug, that one looked like it almost creeped in. Manousis had to use his entire willpower to block it out with his pad, and that's why you guard the post so heavily, because Griffin Long, a guy that has 3 goals on the season, 4 assists to go with that, he has the ability to get within and try that wraparound.
Frank Witz with the shot off the draw. Syracuse plays it through center. They say it touched the stick of Brock Alvers, so no icing. Kalinowski knocks the puck down and swings it around, where Alvers meets up with Long. And the Rams clear to center, where Murphy settles it, then turns it over. And here comes Long. Left side shot. Off the boards and out of play as it went wide of the blocker of Manousis.
And this is dangerous territory if you're Syracuse. Yes, you're getting the defense back, but can you sustain it the entire game? Do the Syracuse offense to do your best to hold it within your blue line, or at least dump it deep on occasion, because playing defense the entire game, that's not a formula that you want if you're the Orange.
Yeah, and Cam, we spoke about that top line. You're talking about Luke Judge, Griffin Long, Thomas Fagan. Those 3 guys have all been able to produce points for this URI team, and they've got some goal scorers all around up and down the lineup. Gargurovich plays it off for Morrow, who puts one towards goal. It slides wide, and it's Augustus Frankwitz who plays it out to center. Quick up for Gargurovich. He couldn't possess. Frankwitz on the backhand cycles it around. Morrow the first one there for Syracuse. Gargurovich plays to the center. Backhand weak shot by Kajula. Never got to the goaltender Briggs. And the Rams are out the other way. Played up the boards for Kelly. Jacob Kelly puts it on goal. Stick of Manousis makes the save. Back into the blue paint. And Manousis puts his glove on it to stop play with 6:11 left here in the first.
You got to utilize 4 checks if you're Syracuse, keeping URI out of the offensive zone. And I know I'll stress it throughout this entire game, and I get it. You're probably sick of hearing it already in the first period, but Syracuse's defense is the group that's going to win this game for the Orange. Yes, the goals might come like Larkin did, but that'll come off fluke plays unless you're able to set it up within the blue line. The defense is going to win the game for the Cuse.
Shot by Clavitt. Clanks off the boards behind the net. Hutchinson there for Syracuse in the far side corner. Dumps it up to Vasilevsky, who chips. Odd man rush for Syracuse. Pass in front for Goldenberg, and it hopped over his stick. Rams the other way with an odd man rush. Vasilevsky back to even it up. Hutchinson, the forward, doing a nice job on defense as he negates Judge. And now it's Hutchinson over the blue line. Plays it into the Ram zone, but it's Costello out to center as the Orange get a change. Goldenberg quickly up for Cook. Dump in try, blocked down by the skate of Clavitt. Kalinowski gets it as far as center. Shot by Clavitt goes wide. Another chance off the boards is swallowed up by Manousis right on that 37 in the middle of that gorgeous white new Syracuse uniform.
It might be costly, though, if you're Syracuse, giving up possession as they just did there. One thing to touch on, Zach Goldenberg, a healthy scratch in that Oswego game. He could be a filler in for Lucas Prestamo. Even on the defensive end, that's a guy that could really push forward on offense, too.
1-1 the score, 5:03 to go in the first period here at 10 of the Ice Pavilion. Game 1 of a 2-game series between these 2 teams. Murphy with the outlet pass too far for Alvers. And it will be an icing as the faceoff comes all the way back in the Syracuse zone. Cam, Rams out shooting the Orange 13-6. score still even at 1.
A big proponent of that is the URI possession. We don't have timestamps exactly on that, but I would bet you that Rhode Island has spent most of the time within that blue line while Syracuse is just doing its best impression of walling up and stopping this Rams team. So a big proponent of that is just time of possession.
Barkaloo played one off a leg to the near side corner. Larkin tangled up. Rams come out with the puck. It's DeRocher. Down low for Koretsky, his pass. Hops up, picked off the line. Manus is forced to make a save. Double deflection, and he made the save. It went through his legs, as I think that right leg kicked it to the far side corner. Orange the other way, and they're offsides, but crazy sequence of events in front of Manousis, and he's made a couple real big saves here.
And you could call that reflexes. I call that luck. It went through the 5-hole, and while Manousis was sliding to the left side of the crease, it just so happened that the puck went through his legs, and his pad took the puck with him while he was moving toward that left post. Manousis, has been great so far, has been able to withstand 14 shots on goal, 14 really good shots for this Rams team.
Syracuse with their fourth line out on the ice of Oakes, Ricker, and Schwartz. On defense, it's Goldenberg and Stewart. So a lot of rookies on the ice in one shift for the Orange. As the Rams go D to D, Shaw has possession, goes around the Syracuse net, stops on a dime, tries to play in front. The Orange block it away. Puck in front where it's Oakes chopping it down the ice. It goes over that red line, over that goal line for an icing. Just 3:31 remaining, first period. 1-1 between Syracuse and Rhode Island. And that fourth line, inexperienced fourth line, stuck on the ice after an icing.
Could be concerning, but this fourth line has really held its own against a Rhode Island offense that has already proven potent.
Costello slaps one wide of the goal. There's Long with it. He lost the puck. Oakes one-hands it as far as the red line. And here comes Rhode Island the other way. It's Luke Judge playing one on goal, and it's in! A tricky shot that snuck underneath the right arm of Manousis. And just like that, Rhode Island has the lead yet again.
Yeah, and you can't make every save if you're Manousis. But one thing you have to realize if you're this defense is you have to do something to halt that transition. Yeah, we were talking about it matters for this Syracuse team. It really does matter for this Syracuse team to stop Rhode Island from setting up its offense within the blue line. But giving them transition opportunities, that's not going to work. It really isn't, because this Rhode Island team has proven speedy. If you're the Syracuse defense, you're inexperienced, you haven't seen a lot of time on the ice together, so the camaraderie is lacking, and you're going up against a really speedy Rhode Island team. That's not a good formula. Stop them in transition, because Manousis can't make every save near the crease.
Judge gives URI a 2-1 lead. Judge, the right-handed shooter, had worked in on his backhand, then went to the forehand quickly and flicked it past Manousis.
Yeah, the talent's there, Doug.
Puck played out in front. Gargurovich with it for Syracuse. Tomorrow, and then it's Clevitt to settle it down for URI. Murphy out there with Top, the first defensive pair for Syracuse. Murphy has trouble with it. Rams into the Syracuse zone. Puck played as far as center. Nice move by Kelly. He was taken down. And we'll have our first power play of the game as Vasilevsky slowly skates his way to the penalty box.
Yeah, in a situation like this, you don't just lose a man, you lose Evan Vasilevsky, so one of your most talented offensive players, one of the best players on the ice. It's a double loss if you're Syracuse because you have to throw someone out there that's more inexperienced than Vasilevsky, and you got to play with the man down for the rest of the first period, down 1. This is where the persistence of Syracuse will either show or not.
Rhode Island 9 for 46 on the power play, just 20%. As Manousis forced to make a stick save as it goes into the netting. The Orange on the penalty kill this season are just successful 64% of the time, which, quite frankly, is not good enough for a team that struggles to score goals and takes a lot of penalties.
Right, and this defense has been the one issue that Syracuse has had to correct. It seemed to be the case against Oswego State. You're going up against Rhode Island, you have to do it here.
Kalinowski is out there with Larkin. It's Kuzamine and Goldenberg, the 4 for Syracuse. D-to-D pass now down low. It's Fagan. He plays it for Long. Now to Fagan on the far side boards. Up top for Shaw. He'll put one on goal off the stick of Manousis and behind the goal. Goldenberg working on Long. Griffin Long's pass to the defenseman splits him and goes all the way down the ice. With 1 minute and 5 seconds to go on the Vasilevsky minor and just 1 minute to go here in the first period.
1 minute to play in the first period. 1 minute.
Morrow hops on for Kalinowski. Murphy on defense, now with Topf. Morrow takes the puck away and throws it the length of the ice. As we're under 45 seconds. Circling back is Shaw. We said it before, 9 points coming in. He's got speed up the left side, walks around top, moves in, looks for his shot, and Manousis with the blocker says no.
Great save by Manousis. He already got burned on one of those in transition, corrected it there.
Costello, good keep at the line. Puck was up for grabs and thrown down the ice. As we approach the end of the first period, Rams might have one more opportunity. Drop pass, puck in front, looking for a tip in the slot. And then Murphy throws it into the Syracuse bench as assistant coach Jordan Alhart had to look out. Just 0.5 seconds to go in the first period, enough to drop the puck, but probably not enough to get a legitimate scoring chance. URI will have a power play for about a second or so to start the second period of play. And that'll do it for the first period. Rhode Island 2, Syracuse 1 on Alumni weekend here at Kennedy Ice Pavilion. We'll have the second period coming up shortly. First intermission between Rhode Island and Syracuse. Doug Lattuca back with you here on the SU Hockey Network. And this weekend is Alumni Weekend. A bunch of guys will be inducted into the Syracuse Hockey Hall of Fame. And I caught up with two of the older alumni a little bit earlier today. Here's what they had to say.
Like Chrissy, the tennis guy.
Doug Lattuca here at 10 of the Ice Pavilion for our Alumni Weekend coverage. I'm here with Jim Everett and David Kahn. They played for Syracuse hockey from 59 to 63. David was here as well for an extra 2 years for graduate school, but wasn't able to play. It was again, he didn't play, but if he even was back for graduate school nowadays, he wouldn't have been able to play anyway. Not allowed to play on Syracuse hockey during graduate school nowadays. But guys, back here at Syracuse, how does it feel?
It feels great. I came back 2 years ago when we did the initial Hall of Fame, the inaugural one, and it'd been basically the first time in probably since the 60 years, almost since I graduated. And what was really great about it was at that particular event, all my kids and grandkids, there were a total of 15 of us were here. And it was so great sharing some honors with them versus if it had happened 30 or 40 years ago. Now, one other thing I will say is this time back, my son and grandson came with me, and I got to walk the campus. The first time it was so cold, we were running and hiding in buildings to get warm up on the quad. The quad was covered with tents. I mean, it was snow, and it was so cold with the wind and everything. Really didn't get to enjoy it. Really got to enjoy it this time around. We walked the quad earlier today, and I love being back here at Syracuse, and love the Syracuse team.
Yeah, the weather definitely cooperating. We'll take it over to David. David, this tradition has been going on in Syracuse hockey for a little while now. You know, recognizing a bunch of the alumni. How are you feeling right now being back here?
I feel like I'm recapturing my youth. We'll see how I look tomorrow out on the ice, playing in the alumni game. This is also my wife and I second time back. We came back for the 50th reunion because my wife graduated with me. In fact, I met her the first day on campus, and it's just so exciting to be back in Syracuse and seeing the amazing difference in what you have on campus now that we didn't have then. I would have also been playing softball because I'm still playing.
We apologize for the technical difficulties here on the SU Hockey Network. We'll be sure to get you guys the rest of that interview when we fix the problem here. We should be set for second period action in a little bit under 8 minutes. Doug Lattuca here with you, and we'll be right back for second period action. Welcome back to 10 of the Ice Pavilion, hockey fans. Doug Lattuca with Cameron Ezeir. We apologize for the technical difficulties towards the back half of the first period and in that first intermission, but we're all fixed up and ready for a second period that should bring a lot of action.
Yeah, what we will say is, would it be this Syracuse hockey team with 3 wins on the season, only 1 legitimate, a bunch of road games that really haven't gone well for this team, illnesses on top of injuries? Would it be fair for the SU Hockey Network to outplay the guys on the ice? The answer is no. So yes, we have everything fixed, and Syracuse hopefully has everything fixed coming into the second period. The message in that intermission break had to be, hey, defense, you got to hunker down. You got to hold it up for your offense because, I mean, that Anthony Larkin goal was everything for this Syracuse team. At least give Syracuse life. It would have been 2-0 instead of that. So that should have been the message at the halftime, the intermission break. And if you're Syracuse, take that in stride going into the second period.
When Cameron says only 1 legitimate win, it came against Oswego State last weekend. The other 2 were forfeit wins against Drexel. Here's Hutchinson, 2-on-1, pass across, blocked by Costello, back on defense for the Rams. Hutchinson's got it back. He's worked on by Costello, tries to creep up. Held up, no penalty as Costello's stick goes flying. Out to the far side point, Mackenzie Murphy puts one on. Blocked down by the stick of Costello. Murphy another try, and it flutters into the netting behind the goal. 55 seconds in to the second period. Cam, Syracuse with just 4 shots in the first 20 minutes. One of them went in off the stick of Larkin.
Off the transition play of Anthony Larkin. Syracuse hasn't had a lot of opportunities within the blue line to set up its offensive scheme. And that's not the best thing in the world for an orange group that really makes its mark in setting up its offense. If you're always in transition, you don't have time to slow down and really cover up that inexperience that is on the ice for the orange.
Long plays it into the slot. Alvers sniffs it out and throws it up and over the Syracuse block S at center and into the Rhode Island zone where it's Barkaloo. Pressured by Kalinowski. Has enough time to find Long, who plays back. And the Rams try to transition. 2-on-1 chance. It's Luke Judge moving, shooting, and he scores! Top shelf magic for Luke Judge. And another goal for Rhode Island as they extend the lead. It's now 3-1, not even 2 minutes in to the second period.
Second goal of the game for Luke Judge, and it's a guy that's done his part on the transition for this Rhode Island team. And what he's doing so well is treating this Syracuse defense like they're stuck in mud. And to be completely honest with you, it does look like they are. In the transition, Rhode Island has taken full advantage of the inexperience of head coach Chris Timmons' team. And you don't have to set up your offense when you're just so powerful on shots and your speed is there. This Rhode Island team has done a great job in the transition. That Syracuse defense needs to do a much better job.
A snipe by Judge makes it 3-1 Rhode Island. His 4th goal of the season, 2nd goal of the afternoon. As Syracuse tries to answer, it's Gargurovich. Thrown into the far side boards. Puck still there. Morrow for the Orange. Plays it down low for Gargurovich. He's pressured by Frankwitz. Puck kept in by Morrow. He'll creep, put one on, and Briggs swallows it up for his 5th save of the day.
So Syracuse comes into this second period, gives up a goal. And you might be asking, hey, this is not a good thing for the Orange. Of course it's not, and it's something that SU has to correct. When you talk about the persistence against Oswego State, you have to show it against a Rhode Island team that is much more talented. And they're coming into 10 of the Ice Pavilion with a lot of experience, fresh off of a win. If you're Syracuse, where does it come from? One guy we haven't mentioned, Tim Kalinowski. He has to be better on that second line, and Sam Hutchinson also needs to assert himself more as well.
Rhode Island scored first in this one. They're 3-1 when they score first. And coming in, they'd been outscored in every period this season. They brought that 1-goal lead into the first intermission, and they add to it early on here in the second. as a referee is taken out of the play as Top went tumbling down. Everyone back to their feet as Murphy resets and finds Hutchinson streaking up the left side, plays it in deep. Briggs, the goaltender, plays it. Puck turned over to Hutchinson, who swings it in front. Cook looking for a one-timer, couldn't do so. Chance there is sticked away off the glass behind. Murphy at the near side point tries to soccer it ahead, couldn't do so. Then Cook supports and dumps it in to the URI zone. Rams breakout. Puck thrown on goal. Manusis gloves it and covers with 16:30 to go, second period. Syracuse being outshot 18-7.
And Doug, we talked about it in the first period. Syracuse has been successful when that category is evened out. Right now, Rhode Island distancing themselves from the orange in the shots on goal sector, 18-7 in favor of the Rams. If you're Syracuse, just apply pressure to the netminder of the Rams. They don't have to be goals. They don't even have to be great shots, but at least applying pressure and replicating what Rhode Island's doing here.
And the Rams score again. 4-1. Rhode Island with the lead. This time it's Nick Ferraro. Found the puck. No one around him and no one in the net.
Awful defense by this Syracuse team. They're doing everything they can, Doug, but just as we talk about it, whenever Rhode Island's on the front foot, they just stomp all over the Cuse.
From bad to worse for Syracuse. Period started 2-1. Then a goal a minute 30 seconds in for Rhode Island, and another one by Ferraro, his fourth of the season. As they continue to press on, puck goes through the blue paint and to the boards. Barkaloo, his shot blocked down by Larkin. Syracuse trying to transition odd man rush. Kalinowski's got it, creeping, shooting, and it's right into the stomach of Briggs, who stops the opportunity. 4 minutes gone by here in the second period. For Curtis Briggs, the sophomore, standing at 6 foot 160. He's played in 9 games, 4-4 record, gives up just under 3 goals a game. Has a .921 save percentage, and he's looked pretty sharp today. Puck pitchforked in deep. Larkin fanned on the cycle try. Goldenberg along the far side boards, keeps in for Syracuse, helping out as Alvers. Puck squirts to Kalinowski on goal, rebounds there, back in front, and Larkin tips it wide. Creeping in is Gavin Stewart. He's got the puck, cycles back behind, finds Kalinowski at the point, quick pass to Goldenberg. His shot off a body part in the slot, and then to the near side corner. The pass goes all the way down the ice, and it's an icing on the Rams. So a good shift there, a lot of pressure for Syracuse in the offensive zone.
A great shift, set up in your offensive zone and at least try to put a few shots on goal. And yeah, you could say that a lot of them were right into the stomach of Briggs or had no chance. But if you're Syracuse, and it's a lot like every other sport, you see a shot going in basketball, you see a catch made in football, you see a puck on goal in hockey, yeah, it gives you confidence. You just gain it on that play. That's where Syracuse has to kind of make their mark in the second period.
Syracuse in 5th place in the ESCHL standings at 2-6. Rhode Island in 4th at 3-3 in the division. Syracuse with the puck in the offensive zone. Florio's shot goes off to Orange, and now behind the net. Vasilevsky to Florio, now to Zarb. His shot right into the glove of Briggs. But once again, Cam, cycling the puck, finding the point men, and getting shots on goal. That time, that top line setting up the offensive chance.
Doug, especially because it can create decoys. A guy like Matt Zarb, you're not expecting him to take a lot of shots. But now if Rhode Island has to play his shot, it opens up holes, it opens up spaces for guys like Hutchinson and Vasilevsky, who are more elite for the Syracuse team.
Scrum in the far side corner. Cook comes out with it, still pressured by Riccitelli. Now out in front, it's Vasilevsky, shot save, rebound in front on that near side post. Puck was available, whistles blow, And now some pushing and shoving. It's Cook involved with Clavitt behind the net. And Cam, that puck was free.
Now, from my vantage point on that near post, it looked like the puck might have creeped in. We do not get the benefit of replay, and Briggs did a good job guarding that post, a scrum in front, the right call to say, hey, we don't know exactly what happened, you just don't know it hit the back of the net. And for Syracuse, very unfortunate because that was the second best chance of the game.
Yeah, and Briggs has been the workhorse for Rhode Island this season. I gave you his numbers before. In the last game, a 3-1 win against Delaware, he allowed just 1 goal on 44 shots as he's continued his stellar play into this one. But the Orange turning up the heat here after giving up 2 goals early on. Florio with a massive hit at the blue line, slow to get up is Weitzelbaumer, and another big hit as Syracuse starting to lay the load, down by 3 goals. Now, if only they could put as many pucks in the net as hits that they've laid on, this game could potentially be tied, but the offense is starting to cook a bit. And Rhode Island just iced the puck. Face-off will be deep inside the Ram zone.
And I've talked about it so many times. Defensively, you can create chances for your offense by putting a stranglehold on a URI offense that has been stout so far in this game. The defense has played well in the last couple minutes or so. It's set up chances for this offense. And J.D. Florio, a couple big hits on the defensive end. See what the offense can do here.
Murphy slaps one wide. Top keeps it in. Down low, Gargurovich throws it out in front. Top, another nice keep. Cycled around for Barkaloo. And the forecheck much better from Syracuse as they try to creep their way back into this game with 13:10 remaining second period. Top back for the Orange, the freshman from Montclair, New Jersey. Briggs forced to come out of his net and play it around the boards. Morrow in on the pursuit, takes the puck. Murphy at the line, keeps deflected by Larkin up and over the net. He's the first one there. Gargurovich has it on his stick, lost it, but Murphy with a hit to keep the puck in the zone. Murphy again plays it with the glove. Syracuse still on the offense. Kalinowski lost possession. Murphy with one hand played it out to center where Kalinowski at the controls will regroup. Clear and try by Murphy was stopped by the ref, but Larkin was able to push it forward. Rhode Island the other way, throws it in and gets a change. A quick up for Kalinowski, who plays it in front of his own goal. Goes behind for Murphy. Pass just out of the outstretched arm of Larkin. And now it's Top throwing one to no one all the way down the ice. No icing as Rhode Island wanted the call, didn't get it. And then that one is going to go for an icing. So it went from potentially a Syracuse icing, no call, and then all the way down the ice for an icing against Rhode Island.
Yeah, it's been a defensive-minded second period for the Syracuse team. It might sound crazy surrendering 2 goals, but the defense has been great over the past 3 minutes or so. Yeah, right there, look at that.
Cook keeps it in at the line. There's Stewart pinching from his point spot. Hutchinson, that big frame at 6'3", puts one on, saved by Briggs. Puck available in the corner, Cook's there. Vasilevsky keeps it in. The cycle continues. And it's Shaw playing it for Ferraro. Syracuse makes a few changes. Goldenberg to Kajula in his skates. Syracuse trying to escape. Ferraro takes it away. Puck creeps out of the zone. He'll spin it back behind. Manousis lets it go all the way through. And fresh off the bench is Fagan. And now he's got it at the block S at center. And here's Fagan with speed up the left side, puts it in front. Still there, Manusis hops on top. And Vasilevsky getting into it with Fagan as both players sliding towards that circle right in front of us.
When will physicality pick up? Against Oswego State, the third period was physicality driven, is the right definition for that one. In this game, Syracuse needs to provide the physicality, down 3 goals.
And Cam, we saw this early on when Syracuse was struggling to find its way and any wins. The discipline was lacking for the Oranges. Manusis makes a glove save. When you're not able to score goals and you're giving up a lot of chances on the defensive end, sometimes discipline goes out the window, and now down 3, that's exactly what Syracuse doesn't need to happen.
At all, and Syracuse has done a great job staying out of the sin bin. That needs to continue, because as you get further on in a game, down 3, where, you know, the motivation to win is even higher, but also you might be playing a little more undisciplined because you're angry you're down 3, it's really important to keep your cool.
Yeah, just 1 penalty in this game. It was against Syracuse. Coming in, URI had 157 penalty minutes, and SU with 127, as we've got a delayed penalty. And it's going to be a roughing.
Looks to be on a Rhode Island player. Nah, I think they're going to actually call it on Matt Zarb, number 11 in white for the Orange. So just when you mentioned discipline, yes, you can blame the broadcaster jinx, and yes, I'll bring that up because it wasn't me. It was Doug that actually brought up the discipline.
Oh, my.
What does Syracuse not need? They don't need that, especially a roughing penalty. That's so unnecessary when Rhode Island is in its own offensive zone. Don't worry about pushing down a Ram player. Worry about guarding your crease.
Costello at the top. They've got Clavitt. Those are the 2 defensemen. At the forward spot, it's Engelson with Richatelli and Weichelbaumer. Richatelli back up top for Clavitt. Now to Costello. Clavitt to the near side boards for Richatelli. Costello surveys, passes down low, picked off by Richatelli. Pass was intended for Engelson. Now Costello creeping, goes behind the net, picked up by Topf. The defenseman still has the puck, now up top. Shot on Manusis, save. And not a lot of traffic in front of Manusis. Murphy doing a nice job clearing out Weichelbaumer.
And Mackenzie Murphy using his upperclassman status to assert himself as the top defenseman on this team. Mackenzie Murphy has spearheaded what's been a great defensive effort over the past 5-6 minutes or so from this Syracuse Orange group.
Syracuse will want to look out for Thomas Shaw. He's got 3 power play goals this season. His shot was blocked and the puck cleared all the way down the ice, where Duracher carries through center, pass too far for Long, and the icing called a bit late, but it was called. So the Rams ice the puck on the power play with 47 seconds to go and 8:40 remaining here in the second period.
So if you're Syracuse, you have a decision to make. Do you attempt the forecheck or you bring your guys back? Bring your guys back, stay conservative down 3. Might seem like a weird thing to say, but you still have a full period to go. Discipline can't lack. On top of that, can't give the Rams any transition and, up-man opportunity.
Morrow and Gargurovich, the forwards, with Goldenberg and Kuzmin, the 2 defensemen, on this 5-on-4 chance for URI. Here's Judge stopping, now dishing. Puck to Duracher. He's looked at by Morrow, goes across the ice, back up top. Shot on goal, never got there. Blocked down by a leg, and Morrow sliding down with the stick. Gets it out to center. Gargurovich will get a change. Syracuse a little bit slow as they only have 3 on the ice. But Hutchinson gets back in the play. Slap shot goes wide from Judge, kept in at the point by Duracher. He's got it back Here's the trailer. Shaw winds, blocked by his own guy Long in the slot. Syracuse clears. We're back to even with 7:30 to go in the second.
And what Syracuse did well during the power play, didn't get out of its own game. During that 2-goal stretch from Rhode Island to open up the second period, it seemed like the Orange were just trying to get a little too fancy, but Syracuse utilizing the consistency we saw against Oswego State and continued it onto that power play stop.
Delayed penalty coming against Syracuse. Rhode Island with possession. Shot, fanned on, touched up by Syracuse. And a hooking call on Timothy Cook.
Yeah, that was pretty obvious. Cook stayed disciplined during the power play kill, but once it went full strength, what Cook didn't do well was just stay in front of his defender. Instead, did a little too much with his stick, a couple extracurriculars involved. When we talk about discipline, it's something that's lacked for Syracuse when the defense has been so good over the past 7 minutes. I'll continue to stress it because although the score is 4-1, it's a couple defensive lapses that are killing this Syracuse team, Doug.
Yeah, and Cook only with 2 penalty minutes coming into this game. He'll sit in the box for 2 minutes on a hooking penalty, and URI goes to its second man advantage of the period. They're already 0 for 1 on the day. 0 for 2, rather. Long with it behind the net. Plays it up top. Costello with it, near side. Back up for Clavitt. He'll put one on, save. Rebounds there, and it's in. I think it went in off of the Syracuse defenseman. Not sure who's going to get credited with the goal, but I think it went off of Jared Topf of Syracuse. So give Rhode Island a power play goal and a 5-1 lead with 6:30 to go, second period.
Unfortunate for this Cuse team, playing so well on the defensive side in the last 7 or 8 minutes, a stretch that head coach Chris Timmons can be happy about. But yeah, that puck just squirmed around the crease and was waiting to go in. You send a couple bodies at it, and the defenders for Syracuse are doing their best job to try to protect Manousis. But while you're doing that, you accidentally, while getting pushed by a couple players, accidentally knocked that one through. You're right, there were 3 or 4 guys in the vicinity, not completely sure who the goal is going to be credited to, but at this point it doesn't matter. A 5-1 deficit for Syracuse, and right now it's looking like one of those games where, hey, if you're Syracuse, play your heart out for the last period, do what you can, and look forward to Sunday.
And with that 5th goal crossing the line, Coach Timmons has seen enough of Nicholas Manousis. Now in goal is the senior netminder, Cal Stewart.
Remember, we saw Cal Stewart in the opening series in 2 losses for Syracuse against Stony Brook. It's good to see him back out on the ice following that injury. Manousis was okay. The defense really didn't do him any good in this game.
And he'll take over with Syracuse down 4 goals. Stewart had played a majority of the games early on. He has an 0-4 record with about a 6 goals against average. His save percentage at .878. So he'll take over in relief of Manousis, who Coach Timmons told me had taken over that starting job, had earned it, in fact. But Timmons looking for a little bit of a spark from his team, as this game was just 2-1 going into the second period. Now it's 5-1 with under 6 minutes to go. And Cam, we spoke about it a little bit as Vasilevsky works into the offensive zone, puts one on. Hutchinson out a piece as Cook tries to spin it around. Murphy's shot blocked at the point. Cook's got it, plays it to the far side boards where Hutchinson and Costello meet up. Puck pushed up into the air. Murphy with a pinch. He's got it off the boards. Backhander off of Costello. Clearing try kept in by Topf. A few battle there. Koretsky in top. Costello takes it. His pass across for Clavitt. And the Rams go out to center. Murphy with a chip, moves forward. Syracuse with an odd man rush. Alvers looking middle. Hutchinson, one-timer, blocked down by Costello. As we're under 5 minutes to go, second period, 5-1 the score. Alvers tries to lay a hit on forehand. Does so. Puck goes deep behind Stewart. Murphy, outlet pass for Alvers off his backside. And Murphy again forced to reset with Ferraro bearing down. He'll one-hand it out to center. And the Rams possess. But Cam, a lot of new guys in the lineup, rookies, first college game, Syracuse dealing with injuries and illness. And we've seen that inexperience show up a little bit here.
It's shown a lot, Doug.
Here's a chance for the Rams. Puck in front. Stewart with one save. Another one. Puck still there. Rebound chance fired up and over as Stewart, fresh off the bench, forced to make a few saves net side.
I don't know how Cal Stewart stopped that puck. It was destined for the back of the net. What Cal Stewart does so well is he's used to a volume of shots. Talked about it in the opener. 50 shots in each game that he had to face against Stony Brook. So if you're head coach Chris Timmons, you're pretty confident in Stewart's ability to stop this high-powered offense of the Rams.
205 saves for Stewart on 230 shots this season. That's just in 5 games. So he has been peppered, to say the least, as he makes his first bunch of saves here in the second period. Kajula on the backhand. Barkaloo, now Kajula in, Zarb there as well for Syracuse. Zarb plays it free tomorrow. It goes off the boards for Gargurovich, and he tips it into the offensive zone. Rams trying to break out, Zarb with pressure. Rhode Island down the ice, icing waved off, puck available, and Stewart forced to hop on top. Miscommunication there between Florio and Morrow forced Stewart to be alert.
Discipline doesn't just have to do with staying out of the penalty box. It's undisciplined mistakes like that where you have to realize if that puck is floating and the ref hasn't blown his whistle yet, go ahead and make a play. Cal Stewart did it, and thank goodness he did, because his Syracuse team has just been plagued by many defensive lapses, a big reason why the Orange trail 5-1.
Face off deep inside the Syracuse zone, 2:40 to go second period, 4-goal deficit. Penalty coming. And it's a holding call. And I believe the Orange are going to be on the power play as Luke Judge will sit. 2 minutes for holding. And for Syracuse, its first power play opportunity and a chance to get back in. A 3-goal deficit looks a heck of a lot better than 4, Cam.
And Luke Judge, I thought it was him in the vicinity that, that started that penalty off. It was actually Griffin Long. It was Long and Judge, the penalty on Long. Huge for Syracuse. They've done well staying in their own offensive end, kind of fallen away from that. If you're the Orange, this has to be a scoring opportunity.
Larkin with another face-off win. He's out there with Cook and Vasilevsky. Murphy is the lone defenseman with Kalinowski on that far side circle. Murphy back to Cook, handcuffed a bit, gets control, back for Murphy. As he'll play it all the way down low for Larkin. Back for Cook. Cook creeping and shot stopped down by Briggs. Puck squirts out to Murphy. Kalinowski to Murphy at the top. Back to Kalinowski into the slot for Vasilevsky. The shot went off a leg. Never got to Briggs.
Yeah, Vasilevsky had a lot more time than he thought he did.
Murphy controlling again. He's got Larkin. Back to the slot. Vasilevsky couldn't control. Puck cleared all the way down. A minute 5 seconds to go on the power play with just 1:40 left here in the second.
And it's a great look with Vasilevsky in the slot, try to knock away a stick to open up the space for the puck to get to him. You got to find him sooner when he's not creeping away from the crease.
Florio now on the ice, Vasilevsky with Murphy and Larkin, who has 3 goals this season, now 4 actually. He had 3 of which on the power play. As Vasilevsky gets it into the offensive zone, Hutchinson works on it on the boards, keeps it in as the clearing attempt by Clavitt is unsuccessful. Larkin behind the URI goal, now to Florio. Goldenberg on to spell Murphy. Florio to Goldenberg at the top, quick passing. Florio at the circle. Hutchinson's got it. Back to Goldenberg. Florio, hard pass through the slot. Puck tipped out of play with just 43 seconds to go in the second. 8 seconds remain on SU's first power play of the period.
Smart by Florio. This Rhode Island power play defense been doing a great job really forcing Syracuse to just play passes outside of the slot and outside of the circles. If you're J.D. Florio and the rest of the Orange, try to find someone, peering into the slot that can get a deflection on goal.
Alvers wins the draw back to Kuzmin. He'll move and fan on the shot. Still has possession of the puck as him and Gargurovich are pressured by Clavitt, and the puck is thrown down. And there to scoop it up is Shelvin. Backhand pass in front. Good back check by Hutchinson. Here's another chance. Pass across off the stick of Ferraro as URI was looking to add to its 4-goal lead. As Hutchinson tosses it down. They're going to call an icing on that, as it looked like Clavitt had almost just watched the puck go by, didn't even make an effort for it. But just 10.4 seconds here in the second period in a face-off deep inside the Syracuse zone. The players stuck out there were Hutchinson, Gargurovich, Kuzmin, Alvers, and Goldenberg. No center for Syracuse as Hutchinson lost the face-off. Shot went wide. Goldenberg in the corner will try to keep it right there. And that's how the second period ends. We entered this period 2-1 Rhode Island. We end it 5-1. Rams with the lead, 3 goals, and it started early and never really let up.
This Rhode Island offense was potent in the first, and it didn't really show because Anthony Larkin got one to go in the back of the net for Syracuse, so the deficit was just 1. Probably should have been a lot more, but where Rhode Island did well in that second period, forcing shots on goal, great shots on goal on that. And this Syracuse team has to do a much better job on the defensive side, and on top of that, do a much better job just pressuring that Rhode Island defense.
Game 1 of a 2-game series between Syracuse and Rhode Island. 5-1 the score. We'll have the third period here on the SU Hockey Network, but with this being Alumni weekend, I had the chance to catch up with some of the older alumni who are being inducted into the Syracuse Hockey Hall of Fame. Here's how it went. Doug Lattuca here inside Kennedy Ice Pavilion as we continue on with our Alumni weekend coverage. We've got 4 more guys that are being inducted into the Hall of Fame tonight. We've got Chris Healy, 88-90, Bill Hackett, 89-93, Scott Polworth, 88-91, and Todd Fraser, 89-90. So guys, back here at Syracuse, you played for Syracuse hockey. What does it mean to be back on campus?
It's pretty surreal. We were talking a lot about it. It's been over 25 years since I've been here, so a lot of changes, but it's been great so far, and looking forward to the rest of the day.
Bill, how about you?
I just don't think we realized what we had. It was just so great, and just to see the faces again, it was kind of timeless. Really, what we had together, unbelievable. It's great.
Really, just epic. I mean, the fact that there's now a rink here and we get to experience it, and that you guys invited us back, really awesome.
It's great. I was the lone Canadian on the team, and so seeing these guys again. It's been really, really good. The memories are coming back, and one of them was when they sang "Oh Canada." For me, I don't know if you guys remember. They knew the words better than most Canadians. It was awesome.
You guys clearly have a great bond, and you guys are reconnecting that this weekend. But to be inducted as one of the best players to ever come through the program, what does that mean? That was both on the ice and off the ice. So you guys all around, we're great for Syracuse hockey.
Yeah, it's been it's so special to be up here with the people that we played with. You know, being able, you know, it's great that what this university is doing with the Hall of Fame, and it's great that individuals can be recognized. But I think the fact that, I mean, I haven't seen these guys in a long time. So it's been a lot of fun so far. Like I said, it's going to be a lot more fun tonight.
Love it. It's just great to see how the program has grown. I mean, I don't think we realized again what we had, and it was just a bunch of guys who like to skate and kind of got together. We were player, coach. It was just such a unique experience, and we bonded. We had a very, very good team that year, which was also pretty neat because we just, you know, a lot of high fives and a lot of great times together, and we dominated. It was pretty cool.
I think for me, like it was such a close-knit group of people that not only were talented in the game, but they really took care of each other, you know, and we just had each other's back, which is just so important on a really good team.
Yeah, Bill's right. Like, to see the program evolve and to see what it is right now, it's, you know, I don't know if we were early pioneers that way or just kind of what has put it together, but it's great to see just how far it's come. So
You guys mentioned the new rink. How it wasn't even there when you guys were playing. What else is different about Syracuse? What else is different about the program as a whole from when you guys were playing in the 90s?
Well, it's
organized.
This is a lot different. We did not have the DO covering us. We basically, the publicity was these jackets. People would walk away. This
How much money do we have for gas, Chris?
Right. Yeah. So it was a lot different, but you know, I think just like everything else, it's changed over time and gotten more slick. But we just had a great group of guys, and I don't think that's any different today than it was back then.
Yeah, we had to work hard to like find a ride to get out to the fairgrounds. It's just really kind of a trashy facility, and it didn't matter because it was like home for us. We loved it out there, and the fans who came out, they would bring, back then there were these beer balls, and they would roll in. It wasn't like cases of beer, it was like these balls of beer and these little hand pumps, and they just sit, and every hit was, the harder they hit, the louder they were, and they were just, I mean, we were just an energized group on, you know, based on these fans who were just so dedicated and for the love of the game. Again,
we may not see any beer balls here today.
I don't think.
I don't know about that.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
I didn't even know we had a hockey program my freshman year, and I played hockey obviously all the way through my childhood. And even Todd said to me, "Scott, wasn't it you that I ran into on the quad one night in the middle of the dark, and I saw your jacket?" And he's like, "Stop me." And he said, "Hey, is there a hockey team?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "How do you join it?" He said, "You got to find Mike Pace. He's got to let you on the team. No internet, no cell phone, no blasting of communication about what's going on."
Right.
I mean, he's a top goal scorer here, so that was a good run.
There you go.
Yeah, it was awesome, and you know, I'm excited to see the game today. Just seeing the players come in, and you know, one memory I have is that we were really, you know, we were definitely tight knit, but we were also super competitive. I don't know, like, our practices were like sometimes we're World War III. But as a Canadian, I was very familiar. We were a good team. We were a tough team and hard to play against. So I'm excited to see the guys today. So.
Yeah, and I got to ask you guys, 3 out of the 4 have these jackets. I mean, they're beautiful.
Oh.
They really are beautiful. Where'd you guys get them?
Well,
and when? I guess the better question is, when did you get them?
Yeah.
So we got these my senior year, and the story that they're referring to is I had the misfortune of having a girlfriend right after I graduated from Syracuse. A girlfriend who did not end up being my wife, who liked the jacket as much as I did, and I let her wear it, and
oh boy,
I haven't seen it since 1991.
I wonder what she's done with it.
Unfortunately,
we'll never know.
I believe her parents may have donated it to. There may be a homeless person in New York City wearing.
Yes. So there's the tip for all the new players: don't give your stuff
away.
Your
stuff.
Don't give your stuff away.
Great alumni weekend here at Syracuse. 4 brothers reunited as we continue our alumni weekend coverage. Syracuse and Rhode Island. Got it. Doug Lattuca here at 10 of the Ice Pavilion for our alumni weekend coverage. I'm here with Jim Everett and David Kahn. They played for Syracuse hockey from 59 to 63. David was here as well for an extra 2 years for graduate school, but wasn't able to play. He didn't play, but if he even was back for graduate school nowadays, he wouldn't have been able to play anyway. Not allowed to play on Syracuse hockey during graduate school nowadays. But guys, back here at Syracuse, how does it feel?
It feels great. I came back 2 years ago when we did the initial Hall of Fame, the inaugural one, and it'd been basically the first time in probably since the 60 years, almost since I had graduated. And what was really great about it was at that particular event, all my kids and grandkids, there were a total of 15 of us were here, and it was so great sharing some honors with them versus if it had happened 30 or 40 years ago. Now, one other thing I will say is this time back, my son and grandson came with me, and I got to walk the campus. The first time, it was so cold, we were running and hiding in buildings to get warm up on the quad. The quad was covered with tents. I mean, it was snow. It was so cold with the wind and everything. Really didn't get to enjoy it. Really got to enjoy it this time around. We walked the quad earlier today, and I love being back here at Syracuse, and love the Syracuse team.
Yeah, the weather definitely cooperating. We'll take it over to David. David, this tradition has been going on in Syracuse hockey for a little while now. You know, recognizing a bunch of the alumni. How are you feeling right now being back here?
I feel like I'm recapturing my youth. We'll see how I look tomorrow out on the ice, playing in the alumni game. This is also my wife and I second time back. We came back for the 50th reunion because my wife graduated with me. In fact, I met her the first day on campus, and it's just so exciting to be back in Syracuse and seeing the amazing difference in what you have on campus now that we didn't have then. I would have also been playing softball because I'm still playing softball, but they didn't have softball then, among other things. So really exciting, as you can all understand, to be back and to see the guys that I played with and see we're all still getting getting on.
David met his wife, Faye, on the first day they were at the Syracuse campus, and they got married and have been together ever since. So, Jim, you were in the first. In a 5-1 game here at 10 of the Ice Pavilion, Doug Lattuca, Cameron Ezeir still bringing the energy here on the SU Hockey Network. And Cameron, there's a lot of ground to be made up for Syracuse if they want back in this game. Look, they don't need to win this game down 4, but it would be nice to score a few goals and get themselves back into it.
Yeah, and when you talk about getting back into it, you're right. Not getting back into this game per se, but getting back into a groove which you can carry into tomorrow. If you have a bad third period, all of a sudden you still have that bad taste in your mouth. If you do well in this third period, halt on the defensive end, play well on offense as well, and Cal Stewart can be the Cal Stewart that we all expect him to be. The Syracuse team can at least carry a little, just a couple smiles into tomorrow's game.
And that's the good thing about the double headers that this Syracuse team plays. Only played the one game last weekend against Oswego State. They picked up the victory in the shootout. But sitting at just 2-6 in ESCHL play, and a loss staring them right back in the face here with the 5-1 deficit as we're underway here in the third period. And those 2 wins, Cam, both forfeits from Drexel. So we'll see what Syracuse comes out with to start this third period. Vasilevsky in his own zone plays up the boards to Cook, who goes across the ice to Murphy. Outlet pass looking for Vasilevsky. He's got a break. Here's Vasilevsky, and it slides off his stick to the near side corner. Big chance for Vasilevsky. Good pass by Murphy. Rangers still have possession. Puck down low for Vasilevsky. Now to Cook, who cycles it up for Murphy. He puts one looking for the tip from Vasilevsky. Goes off his stick and wide. Puck played across. Kept in by Cook. Hutchinson and Clavitt. Hutchinson escapes untouched. Now he twirls on Clavitt. Still has the puck. Being pressured. Gets it to the point. Top. His shot blockered away by Briggs. And a good first shift by Syracuse. Pressure in the URI zone.
And why not throw a cross-ice pass? The first time we've seen that today. First time we've seen that at Kennedy all season, where Mackenzie Murphy, throws a deep one to Evan Vasilevsky. And with the speed of Vasilevsky, that's where Syracuse needs to take advantage. You have a guy in Mackenzie Murphy that can get it there. Let your guys, go out, utilize their speed if they can.
Vasilevsky, the leading point getter on this Syracuse team with 7, as he was looking for goal number 2 on the season. Picked up his first goal in the win against Oswego last weekend. Puck off the boards, too far for Kalinowski, but Kalinowski the first one there. He's got the puck, near side boards, goes towards the middle, his shot blocked, and here comes Rhode Island the other way. It's Fagan with the break, Goldenberg on his back, the shot stopped by Stewart. Rebound still there, another chance for Fagan, and the puck finally scooped up by Larkin. As Rhode Island backs off, gets a change, and Stewart makes his first real save here in the third period.
It's that consecutive save ability. He understands that a rebound is possible, but he's not going to let that halt him from getting over to the other side of the post and blocking it away.
Morrow with Kajula and Gargurovich. The third line for Syracuse today. Zarb, his pass was picked off. Puck thrown back behind the net. Riccitelli to the slot. Puck finds its way to the far side point, and the shot blocked by Morrow and out to center. Rhode Island quick on the transition. It's Shaw throwing it far side corner where Florio picks it up. Gargurovich lumberjacks it up the boards, didn't have enough on it, and Zarb does his best to clear. He does so. Gargurovich takes the puck away, working 1-on-4 as reinforcements were behind the play. Puck thrown around the board. Zarb keeps it in, plays it towards goal. It's Oakes. Oakes, a big body, standing at 6'5", 230. Shot from the point, hits Morrow in front. Rather, that was Oakes, and Oakes draws a penalty.
Yeah, Costello trying to stave off Morrow, who was trying to block off the sight of Briggs in goal. Pushed down on the Syracuse player in Colin Morrow. So Mike Costello will head to the penalty box, pretty blatant right in front of the referee's eyes as he was in the slot. Pushed down on Morrow from the back. That's not allowed. He's headed to the sin bin for 2.
And Costello, this is his 47th game played for Rhode Island. He came in with 101 penalty minutes. So he might as well get a blanket and a pillow ready for that penalty box. Just his first infraction of the afternoon. And an opening for a Syracuse team that has struggled to find offense today, but third period has been much better. Higher quality chances. As Kalinowski brings it in, finds Vasilevsky. He shovels one towards the goal. Stopped by Briggs. Now Larkin to Murphy. Finds Cook, who creeps. Shot, save, rebound there for Vasilevsky. He couldn't get it towards goal, and Larkin will reset. Larkin with it, walking, shooting off a leg. Puck back in front of the glove of Briggs. Stops play. And down on the ice was Barkaloo, who blocked the first shot. Larkin exchanging words with forward Jackson Shelvin, who has one of the 5 Rhode Island goals. And you can see Larkin is a little bit of a gnat out there on the rink, likes to get under the skin of the other team, and he also brings that offensive prowess that Syracuse is so desperately looking for.
Right, Larkin is a puppeteer on that offensive end. We hope Barkaloo's okay as he's helped to the bench, took a clean shot off that swerve and shot from Anthony Larkin. Syracuse still in this power play. Yeah, Anthony Larkin can provide some kind of offense for this team, and he's really good at creating opportunities and shifting this defense too.
59 seconds to go on the power play, 15:30 remaining here in the third period. Shot goes to the near side boards. Hutchinson with it, behind the net, worked on by Shaw. Hutchinson's got it again. Wraparound try, save. Florio creeping in, couldn't get the shot on goal. Florio, the defenseman, has it behind the net, drops it off for Hutchinson. Touch pass by Goldenberg. Florio's slap shot blocked down by the leg of Frankwitz. Syracuse still has possession, 23 seconds to go. A few players fall to the ice. Gargurovich across looking for Hutchinson. Gets it there. And Goldenberg slings it behind the net. Hutchinson with it, comes off the boards, now to Goldenberg. He wrists one towards goal, puck still there. Alvers with a chance, shot, stopped with a glove by Briggs. Glove save and a beauty by Briggs, and another Rhode Island player down. This time it's Thomas Shaw as he gets back to his feet, and yet again, the chirping continues. This time Brock Alvers involved.
What Syracuse needs to do better on its shots is pinpoint accuracy. It's a lot of power shots, which is completely fine. Fire it on net. If you're down by 4, it doesn't really matter if you can throw it into the breadbasket of Briggs. Locate those corners where Briggs might not have the chance to deflect it.
Puck eludes top at the blue line, goes all the way down. We're back to even. Syracuse unsuccessful on the power play. They're now 0 for 2 today. Ricker with Top work together to clear it down the ice, and it goes on goal. Briggs steers it. Puck chipped all the way down over the head of Murphy. Does it have enough for an icing? Yes, it does. 13:53, third period. 5-1 Rhode Island with the lead. The early goal from Shelvin in the first period gave Rhode Island a 1-0 lead. Then it was Larkin who tied it up for Syracuse. But Judge stormed back to make it 2-1 Rhode Island. That's how we ended the first period. And then it was 3 goals, one of which coming from Judge in the second. And that's where we sit. 5-1 the score. Doug Lattuca and Cameron Ezeir here on the SU Hockey Network. And the puck in the blue paint, as it was put up for grabs, went off the glove of one of the defensemen, and Briggs was forced to make a save. Syracuse couldn't capitalize. Game 2 will be tomorrow, 2 o'clock puck drop. We'll have pregame coverage starting at 4:30 on the SU Hockey Network.
4:30. 1:40, Doug? 2 o'clock game?
Well, it's been a long day, as you could clearly say, as Alvers plays it towards the middle. He was looking for Larkin. That disconnected. So sorry, a 1:30 prior to puck drop pregame show.
We'll have you covered until 4:30, most likely.
That sounds about right.
A Syracuse team trying to rebound from this effort.
As Cam continues to catch my mistakes. As Costello plays it across, shot towards goal, flutters off of Stewart and into the near side corner. Dangerous opportunity there. Syracuse escapes as Larkin skates out to center. He's pressured on the back check by Ferraro, and Larkin and Ferraro in front of the scorer's table. Get into it. Larkin gets a change as Hutchinson tries to walk his way through. Was impeded by Clavitt as the two continue to battle. Hutchinson trying to hop over. Costello takes the puck. Hutchinson says, no, I want it back, and he takes it. Trying to play for Vasilevsky at the circle. Puck thrown back behind the goal. Creeping in is Stewart. Puck finds Briggs. He'll cover. And pushing and shoving again. Cook and Costello involved. Hutchinson is getting into the face of Shelvin. Now, that's not a matchup I think Shelvin is too interested in. Shelvin at 5'10", 185, up against the 6'3", 205-foot forward Sam Hutchinson.
Well, it looked like Shelvin hooked Hutchinson, and Sam Hutchinson was wondering, hey, where's the penalty there? Nothing was called. Got into a bit of a shoving match because of that.
11:50 to go, third period. Third line out there for Syracuse. Kajula, Gargurovich, and Morrow, with Goldenberg and Stewart on defense as Gargurovich sneaks through. Kajula tries to deke his way past Shaw. Can't do so. Puck taken away. 2-on-1. Shaw on the slot. Drops down low. Backhander was stopped. Looks like Kajula got a stick on it. Stewart was out of his goal. And we stay at 5-1 thanks to John Kajula.
Cal Stewart should head over to the Liverpool native in John Kajula and give him one big hug, because that was a sitting duck in the blue paint. And what John Kajula did so well was stop his motion and just hook it out of there. The puck was sitting there waiting for a Rhode Island player to find it and just, push it into the open netting. John Kajula, a really good job there to keep the deficit at 4.
Yeah, and Cam, a guy whose name I've said quite a bit, is Max Gargurovich from Massachusetts. No points in the team's win, no points this season, but he seems like he's always around the puck. As it's put on goal, Stewart makes the save.
Well, Max Gargurovich is what we thought Tim Kalinowski would be. And as in the forward position, standing at 5'7", is very similar to the frame and the stature of Tim Kalinowski. He's just been a lot more active than Kalinowski has. So what Gargurovich can provide to this team is a bit more energy that is lacking from players that a lot of us expected would have a huge impact coming into the season.
If you joined us a little bit late, Syracuse without a bunch of key players, Prestamo, Skalnick on defense, Barone, all played in every Syracuse game this season to this point. They're all out, either due to injury or illness. 10:35 to go first period. Stewart waffles it up into the netting behind the goal. And that will stop play. Faceoff will be to the left of the senior netminder. We've brought this up in the past. We'll do it again as those pads continue to stick out of Stewart. Brand new orange pads.
They don't look brand new, look beaten up a bit.
They have been brutally beaten up this season. And Stewart, who relieved Manusis midway through the second period, as that chance is stopped by Stewart. Puck still available behind the net. And Stewart has made a few good saves. Hasn't given up a goal yet. As the puck is thrown in deep, Oaks in pursuit, working on Bernardi. Puck backhanded out to center. And for Rhode Island, they'll look to just clear their own zone, get the puck deep, get some changes, and just waste this clock away as we're under 10 minutes to go in the third period.
Now, Doug, a win for Syracuse, like you mentioned it, under 10 minutes to go, is not allowing another goal because the defense, the lapses have been present. So if you don't allow another goal, I'd take it as a win going into tomorrow.
Puck kept in by Rhode Island. Now it's Top playing it up the boards for Oaks. He can't handle it. And Clavitt throws it in deep. Puck saucered out to center, knocked down with the hand by Canetset. Puck's available at center and thrown back into the Syracuse zone where Stewart plays it off for Murphy. Costello throws it back in. Under 9 minutes to go in the third. Second line out there for the Orange. Larkin with Kalinowski and Alvers. As Canetset's stick broke, he had to go get another one. Instead, he'll hop off and get a change as Larkin plays ahead. Too far for Alvers. Goes down the length of the ice, and it's enough for icing. And you could feel the energy inside Kennedy on that Syracuse bench has dwindled down 4 goals.
And it's interesting because after that win against Oswego, that bench was on fire, was absolutely on fire. So head coach Chris Timmons needs to find a way to keep his team involved, even down 5-1, just one game in a lengthy season. Your head coach Chris Timmons in your first season, bringing alongside your assistant coach at Oswego. Just find a way to keep this team involved. Yes, it might not be involved on the ice, but involved on the bench because the energy has to be there for the Syracuse team to have any success.
The 2019 Rookie of the Year, Murphy, had trouble clearing, and the shot right into the breadbasket of Stewart. And even with that 5 staring Syracuse right in the face, the defense, from what we remember of opening weekend, has been much better, especially with some key absences on the back end.
Right, it's been a couple defensive lapses that have haunted Syracuse throughout the season.
That's been all season.
But also haunted them in this game. You cut down on those. You cut down on a 2-3 minute stretch. This is a 1-2 goal game for Syracuse. The defense has been fine. Yeah, the 35 shots on goal, that could be something you look back at and say we got to do a lot better. But if you're the Orange, you're facing a Rhode Island team that is pretty good on the offensive side. You have to be happy with your performance. Not thrilled, but happy. You stop a couple of those stretches, and this Syracuse team could be in a lot more games down the stretch.
And without Prestamo anchoring that first line, the Syracuse offense has been somewhat neutralized. Prestamo, a guy who is towards the team lead with 6 points. Vasilevsky with 7 has the team lead as Stewart makes a save, goes to the near side boards, and it's cleared into the Ram zone.
But also, Doug, Prestamo brings a lot of experience, a boatload of it. Mackenzie Murphy is another guy on the defensive side. If Syracuse doesn't have him, his defense isn't really anchored. The offense hasn't been anchored. You mentioned it, neutralized, stabilized as well.
Florio with the pinch from the defensive spot. Plays it down low for Gargurovich. He finds Kajula at the left point. Thrown back in. Gargurovich is there for Syracuse. He's checked by Bernardi. Zarb tries to keep, can't do so. Puck all the way down as it trickles. Not enough for icing, as they say Florio had potentially stopped his skating to get an icing. They wave off another one, as looked like Gargurovich was in front of that red line. Nonetheless, Syracuse has a chance as Kajula put one on, but Briggs with the pad makes the save, and the puck goes out to center.
And Doug, how about Curtis Briggs? He's been phenomenal for this Rhode Island team. Yeah, not a lot of great chances, 20 shots on goal. I would guess about 20% that have had a good chance at scoring, which isn't a huge margin for Briggs to make. But when Curtis Briggs has been in net, he's made the saves that this Rhode Island team has needed.
There comes Rhode Island, drop pass, shot, it's in. A snipe from Dennis Engelson, as I think it surprised Cal Stewart as he went across the green towards that right post and banked it in to extend the URI lead to 5 as it's 6-1 Rhode Island with 5:48 to go here in the third period.
I can't even count on my fingers how many, or count on one hand, how many goals have come off of that transition odd man opportunities, because at this point it's 6. It's 6 of 6 for Rhode Island. If you're Syracuse, that's what you have to correct. Because right now the defense has been great when Rhode Island's had to set up its own offense, but in the transition and odd man opportunities, when you're pressed toward the goal and the defense is on its back heel, Syracuse has had no chance against this Rams offense.
Yeah, and on that drop pass to Engelson, there was a screen, and I think Stewart didn't see the release off of Engelson's stick, and it surprised him a little bit, because when that puck goes in on the far post, that puck has to travel across the goalie's eyes. So usually those are much harder to come by than the short side goal.
It's also on the inside of the post. Cal Stewart did all he could. He wasn't expecting a shot that would go on the far post while he was guarding the near, trying to look through a few defenders, look through a very tight seam. If you're Cal Stewart, great position, but it was even a better shot for Engelson.
So Stewart breached for the first time today. Rhode Island finds the back of the net for the 6th time. As there's a whistle at center. It's going to be a hand pass on Murphy. Face off will find its way to the right of Stewart in the Syracuse net. For the Orange, they'll play tomorrow, 2 o'clock, game 2 of this series with Rhode Island. Then they'll go to Stony Brook next weekend for a 2-game series with the Seawolves. The Saturday game will be an 8:30 puck drop, and on Sunday a 3:30 start. And then back to Kennedy Ice Pavilion for 2 more series as Stewart acrobatically making some saves and keeping this game just 6-1. Murphy found Larkin. Syracuse can't clear. And I guess that's the bright spot, was that Cal Stewart save right there.
Got to hang your hat on something, Doug.
Why not? Still a beautiful weekend here in Syracuse. The alumni will be honored at the incomplete after the completion of tonight's game.
Yeah, and if you're looking for that full ceremony, well, you're in luck. Both you and I will be there, and that'll actually go up on our YouTube channel, so make sure to hit us a like and subscribe as well for Syracuse hockey content in general. And if you want to catch that ceremony and you cannot be in attendance, there will be a full version on our YouTube channel tomorrow.
A bunch of new inductees as Murphy backhands one towards, never got there. Puck still available in front of Briggs as Murphy swings and misses. The clearing attempt by Kelly fails. Hutchinson in the pursuit lays a hit on Duracher, but Rhode Island is able to control. The inductees are Brian Fitzgerald, Dave Kahn, Mike Mateague, Jim Veal, Eric Krug, Lance Davis, Wes Rene, Nick DiPasquale, and then the championship team from 89 and 90. So a bunch of former SU players going into the Hall of Fame. And also, the 2021 Van Winkle Award winner will be announced. That's Lance Davis, was part of the team from 90 to 94, and Amy Morris Davis, who participated in Syracuse hockey from 91 to 95, as there's an icing.
Yeah, prestigious award at that, Doug, recognizing that people in this program that have demonstrated leadership on and off the ice and have made significant contributions to the development and the maintenance of its legacy. This year, for the first time, the award recognizes the collaborative and synchronized effort of two such individuals. So how about that? Multiple people recognized for the Van Winkle Award here in 2021, including a plethora of inductees will be recognized following this game, and they're here. All of them are here, and we're sporting, or not all of them, but a majority of them are here at Kennedy Ice Pavilion rooting on this team, sporting some great gear, I might say.
Vasilevsky pushes one wide, and Cam, we spoke with Dave Kahn, who was part of the team from 59 to 63.
And just so you know, that's 1959 to 1963. Yeah, we're not deceiving you. I swear it was over 50 years ago. How about that? It's such a nice guy, rocking a jersey that, I mean, I got to get my hands on one of those. If you caught our interview, or Doug's, your interview during the second intermission, or the nice jersey here, sporting all orange, asked me before the interview, am I wearing enough orange? And I looked at him and said, you could, you got shoe options that maybe you could dabble in.
Everything else was orange, so the only thing he could look out was the shoes. As the puck is up for grabs at center, Morrow pushes it forward with 1:45 to go, third period. Rhode Island with a 6-1 lead, and for Coach Timmons and the team, it will be a trip back to the drawing board and potentially some lineup changes. We're not sure about illnesses and injuries going to tomorrow's game, if it was just a one-game absence for some of these players. But we will have you guys covered in our pregame show starting at 1:30 tomorrow right here on the SU Hockey Network. And a big hit laid by Florio. And Cam, I feel like Florio every game is laying some big hits.
Yeah, the freshman has made an instant impact on the defensive side, especially because it's someone who came into the season where many didn't expect him on the first line, and now he's up there with Mackenzie Murphy, one of the captains of this team. J.D. Florio has been great in this game, and it just builds on the prowess of this defense. And now you just got to cut down on the lapses. Find your number one goalie. Is it Manusis? Is it Stewart? Cut down on those lapses and don't give the other team so many odd man opportunities.
1 minute to play, regulation.
Under a minute to go, shot by Topf was blocked. Here come the Rams the other way. It's Engelson who scored the last goal, and he whizzes one wide.
Went for that same far post.
Puck kept in. Or maybe it wasn't, so the Rams have to touch up with 40 seconds left in the third. Puck played up for Vasilevsky with speed up the right side. He'll creep in, toe drag shot. Goes wide as he had Cook and Hutchinson breaking towards. Vasilevsky out of the corner pushes one wide. And although the goals haven't come for this top line, still the majority of the chances coming off the sticks of Vasilevsky and Hutchinson today. Some others that we mentioned, Gargurovich, Larkin with the lone goal for the Orange. As Cook dumps it in and chases. And the horn sounds ending today's game. Rhode Island 6, Syracuse 1. Not the way the Orange wanted to start Alumni weekend. And we'll have the other game tomorrow, but game one, fairly ugly.
Improvements in the second and third period. If you're head coach Chris Timmons, that should be the first line on the whiteboard when you hop into that post-game meeting with your team. I mean, this is a Syracuse team that came out firing after giving up an early goal. If you're the Orange, just building on what you did well on the defensive side and trying to build some momentum on the offensive end. Don't look at this as a loss where, hey, we did lose by 5. Yes, it happened, but if you cut down on those defensive lapses, all of a sudden, you're in the game. Syracuse has to look at the positives, but especially improve in the second and third periods and staying consistent at that.
It was 2-1 after 1, and that second period was where it got away from Syracuse. They allowed Rhode Island to score 3 goals. The Rams took a 5-1 lead into the third period, and then they added another one in the last frame. And that's how we end 6-1 final here at Kennedy Ice Pavilion. With the loss, Syracuse falls to 3-7, now 2-7 in ESCHL play. We'll have coverage of Game 2 of this weekend series against Rhode Island. Puck drop will be 2 o'clock tomorrow, and our pregame coverage gets underway at 1:30. For Cameron Ezeir, Raven Brink, I'm Doug Lattuca. Have a great rest of your Saturday night, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.